how are you supposed to grow as an artist if you're not even making any money from your art? Because this is like one of the major metrics for measuring growth, if we are being honest with ourselves. And if you would like to learn new and modern ways to monetize your art, this video is for you. And you don't even need to be like a pro with 100 years of experience or an extensive connection in the art world or anything like that. I'm a broadcaster, I'm a hyper-realism artist, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And just so you know, this video is a continuation of my previous video talking about how to grow as an artist, focusing on how to improve your skills. So if you haven't seen that, it's important you go watch that first so you can set yourself on the track to improving your skills and producing quality artworks, so you can set yourself on the track to start monetizing, because you need quality artworks to be able to monetize. So I've divided this video into 3 major parts so it's easier for you to follow. And the first part, we're going to be talking about building your personal brand. So first things first, you need to know people aren't going to buy your artworks if they have never seen you or your artwork before, or they don't even know you. So this is why building your own personal brand should be very important. And as your G, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips on how you can do this. Now, first step to building your own personal brand is finding your own unique art style and finding your voice, so you can cut through all the noise, because you can't be like everyone else, or no one will be able to tell the difference. You have to be unique and stand out. And this is actually a lot easier than it sounds, because everybody is already unique in their own way. So all you just need to do is be your own authentic self and be known for a specific thing, because you don't want to attract everyone. You want to attract your own personal target audience, people who like you for who you are and the type of art you create. Now, to build your own personal brand, it's common knowledge that you have to have an online presence. This is where the power of social media comes into play. But one thing you have to keep in mind is that this power of social media we're talking about, you don't actually wield it. It's for the big companies like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. So you need to know that sometimes your account can just be blocked or restricted for reasons best known to them. So you need to put some measures in place, which I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. Your online presence should go way beyond social media. It should just be used as a tool to build your community. This is why it's very important for you to have a website with a portfolio showing all of your best works, where people can go to and see all your works in a curated manner. Now, that's not even the punchline. To keep the audience you've been able to grow on these social media platforms and control the fate of your online presence instead of just leaving it to Instagram or TikTok, it's very important that you have an email list. Now, what's an email list? It's a list of emails of all your audience and people who love your artworks, and maybe even past clients, where you can send them content directly. Now, the great thing about this email list is it doesn't just only protect you from losing your audience, it also saves you the energy and stress of chasing the Instagram or TikTok algorithm to get views or likes or anything like that. Now you can directly send your content straight to your audience. And that's not even to mention the fact that email lists are like one of the most powerful tools for sales. For the third step, keep in mind, this audience you just learned how to grow and keep, you have to keep them engaged by providing them with valuable and quality content. Because if you ever hope to receive anything from them in future, you have to be willing to freely give. So consistently put out content for your audience. Now, for the second key point, which is monetizing strategy. Now that people know who you are, they've seen your art, and maybe even care about you, these are some of the monetization strategies you can implement. Now, the first place to start, which is kind of obvious, selling originals of your artworks. Now, how do you go about this? There are several ways you can go about selling originals of your artworks. First is through online market spaces like Etsy or approaching art galleries. But my personal recommendation will be to sell on your own personal website that we talked about creating earlier, where people can go and see your works. It's also important that you also have a store or a marketplace on that same website, so people can easily purchase if they want to. Now, online marketplaces and galleries are a good option, but why I'll personally recommend your own personal website to sell your artworks is because you're not going to be paying anybody a 40% commission or anything like that. You have all the power, you control everything, and your profit goes directly and straight into your own pocket. Even though this might be a little bit hard to execute, but once you have your own personal brand that we talked about earlier, this is definitely going to be way easier. Now, the second strategy to explore is creating prints of your artworks or merchandising, which is printing your works on merchandise like mugs or t-shirts or anything like that. And the great thing about this is you can just drop ship. You don't even need to stress. All you need to do is monitor your inventory, create the designs, and a company will handle all the prints and all the other stuff. Company like Printify do things like this, or Print Space. And the third strategy you can put into place is offering commissions. And when doing this, it's very important for you to set clear terms so there are no misunderstandings between you and the clients. Because I can remember there was a time a client sent me a couple of pictures, like a bunch of them, and he wanted a portrait of his girlfriend. And then I drew one of the pictures, and when I was done with the portrait, the client was like, this wasn't the picture he wanted me to draw. It was another one he wanted me to draw. And this led to a whole bunch of problems, and this guy started threatening me with jazz, and I was like, whoa. I just sent him his money back because I didn't even want any problem. Even though I didn't have to send him his money, but I just didn't want any issues or anyone smearing me on the internet or anything like that. And the money was not a big deal, so I just sent it back to him and just ended the day, and I blocked him. But you might not have the luxury of spending your time on an artwork and not having anything to show for it. So it's very important that you set very clear terms with your clients so you don't regret it. Now, rounding this all up with the third point, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the alternative ways you can also make money as an artist or a creative. Now, one alternative is teaching workshops physically or creating an online course where people can have lifetime access to, so they can watch this anytime at their convenience. Now, another alternative is brand collaboration. Now, this is probably when you build a somewhat matured personal brand, because building your own brand never ends. But once you have a somewhat matured brand of audience and following and a good community, then you can start to accept brand deals with brands that align with your values. Because I won't advise you to just align yourself with any brand just for the money, because sometimes a lot of these brand deals are a lifelong and a long run thing. So it has to be with a brand that aligns with you perfectly. Now, the third alternative is applying for grants and residencies. Now, personally myself, I've never actually ever applied for any grants or residencies, but this is also a really good alternative for you. So all you just need to do is check for the criteria and the requirements for applying to these residencies or grants. Find out what they are looking for, see if it aligns perfectly with you, and then you apply with all the necessary documents and the requirements that you need. Now, this brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for sticking it out with me, and if you think this video was helpful to you in any way, please don't forget to smash that like button, share it with a friend that you think this might be really helpful to also, and don't forget to subscribe so you can receive notifications when I put out new and helpful content like this for you. And I hope to see you at the next video.